This is the first class. All right. So before we're doing content reviews, kind of willy nilly, but this is going to be us learning about hooks, why hooks are important, um, and really just learning how we can not only like manufacture our own hooks, but like just study what works and then just turn it into our own kind of thing and just go viral off the top of our heads. Ideally, at the end of like spring semester, everyone that is in Content Club should really be able to like make a UGC style video off the dome. You have like your idea, you were able to just generate a hook for the idea like that, and you can just sit down and record it. A lot of my most viral videos were when I was super locked in on the hook, and I just made it, and it took like 15 minutes, right? Kind of like effortless virality is what we're trying to achieve. Your hook is really just defined by the view rate in the first 3 seconds. So 50%, it's not that good. Lower than 65% is basically just not going to get pushed to other people. Like the algorithm is just gonna cook it, okay? So this does matter, like algo pull, right? Like when we're talking about the algorithm, we're not referring to what hashtags you're using. We're not referring to like what time you're posting or even like what like SEO keywords you have in your description. We're really just referring to this retention, this view rate, skip rate, whatever you want to call it, view rate past 3 seconds. This is just how effective your hook is, all right? And so the difference between this, right? So this is a 50% retention, 17,000 followers, and you guys have to remember as well, like 17,000 followers is pretty good if you're like a small account with like sub 10,000, right? I have 30,000. This means it didn't even reach like half my existing followers, if that makes sense. Versus like this is a 5.4 million view video, 72% retention rate off rip. So even a couple percentage points matter a lot. I have like a 65% retention video that got like a couple 100,000 views, but again, it's not in the millions. Just another like graph to demonstrate. This is why the retention is so important. So for this video, this got like 500,000 views. Everyone stayed after the hook, so we have 50% retention rate after the hook. And you can see like most people just stay to the end. It doesn't matter if the other 57 seconds of your video are good. And once you get past it, you can watch the other 57 seconds of the video no problem. Because so many people drop off at the beginning, it doesn't matter. So if we like just like move this down, it's even worse. Like even though you have the same retention graph, you're getting cooked. So this is why the hook, even though most people think it's like 50-50 with the storytelling, your camera quality, whatever, everyone's like, okay, well, the hook gets me there, but I need to like have the storytelling, blah, 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 to get like me followers and stuff. Realistically, your hook is like 80% of your video all the time. Doesn't matter if you're like cinematic, doesn't matter if you're a vlog, doesn't matter if you're like a talking head. It is 80% of your video all the time. It is really the thing that everyone needs to master before they think about anything else like related to, like I would say, editing, scripting, whatever. Like in terms of scripting the rest of the video, things in terms of calls to action, in terms of like what fonts or what color grading I should use. Before all of that is the hook, okay? So I just want to emphasize how important this is. So how can we make great hooks? There's a 3-step framework that I like to use for us to basically understand how we can make our own viral hooks. And that is the copy, study, and adapt. I believe I forgot, but copy, study, and adapt. So step 1, we're gonna copy these, right? Now, most people on the internet do copy, but I understand like all of us as creators, we want to create our own original pieces of content. I think that's fair assessment for us to make. But the thing that we're doing here when we are copying other people's hooks is not just ripping them word for word. This is what we need to understand, okay? We are trying to do something, and that is establish our viral sense, okay? When we copy hundreds of hooks, we are going to basically just be able to understand intuitively what words work, what words spark emotion, what words basically just catch the viewer's attention. This is just what happens when you have reps. It's just like doing a drill, doing practices, and watching tape if anyone played sports. So we're just trying to establish this viral sense for everyone before we go into kind of creating our own hooks. So I copied a lot of Mino Lee's hooks and like applied them to different concepts, but sooner or later then I started just like making up my own stuff. And all of my videos that have gone viral are off of like hooks that I just generated from my brain, right? Not from like a video or anything. And that's the end goal that we want to get. So Step 2 to this is just studying. Everyone after this meeting today should go and scroll on TikTok, but on purpose, okay? This is the one thing that will help you, like when you do copy and steal one of these hooks, you're guaranteed to get 10,000 views. And I'll show you this. So this like exercise will guarantee you a 10,000 view video off the bat, all right? We're gonna write down any hook that is in your niche. For example, like Jordan, your niche would be like not like some like productivity, right? Or like college stuff, but also like Rajan stuff where it's like building, this is day X of building like something, right? And so your niche is really just like the like restaurant builder space, like the actual physical brick and mortar builder space. Versus like Milan, your niche would be like a productivity niche. So really make sure it is your niche and topic and write down any hook in your niche with 50,000 likes. And this is going to be on TikTok because TikTok has a much better algorithm than Instagram does. And we're only going to be doing 50,000 likes just because we want a very precise data set. Normally when you're like copying something, it's watered down, right? So if you're copying a 10,000 view video, you're copying the hook of a 10,000 view video, you might only get like 5,000 views. If you copy the hook of a 1 million view video, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna get like 10,000 views, right? Does that make sense? It kind of like trickles down. So we want a very like high quality data set for us to pull our hooks from, okay? And after this, you should probably get like, this is a result of a much longer sheet. I have like more hooks, right? But you're going to have as many hooks as possible. 10 is all that would fit on the slides, okay? As you can see here, they use bad words. I'm a Christian content creator. I don't use bad words. But the point is like, you should also notice like why swear words catch attention. They spoke emotion, right? So you really want to write these down. Don't save them in your like TikTok. And don't be like, oh, I'll save this and like, I'm guilty of this, right? Don't like be like, oh, I'll just save this and like look at it later for inspo, right? Nah, right? You want to get preferably on your laptop. I like to do it on my laptop and have a Google Docs app, but you want to like be writing it down in your like notes app or something. And just write down all the hooks you see, like it and save it. Also curate your algorithm to show you more like videos of your niche instead of like my TikTok page is like all sports edits right now, because I like watching a lot of sports edits. But if I want to do market research, this will help us like actually get the hooks that we want and that we are creating. So things to notice when we are doing studying, right? This is why I would say like only 15 to 30 minutes is enough, maybe an hour. It's just because you are going very in depth in this, you're gonna notice the tonality, the cadence, how they're saying the hook. I can say a hook completely differently than the one on the video and it'll flop or it might do better. You're gonna notice the text hook. This is a really, really long text hook. This is like a essay text hook from TikTok. He even got like a sub text hook. This is crazy. So like, why did this work? I don't know, we have to watch the video. And then we're also gonna notice the style and format, as I said, like the niche. There will be vlogs, there will be voiceover vlog videos that do very well, of course. I personally, unless I'm interested in making voiceover vlog videos, which I am, right? But if I'm trying to do research for my talking head videos, my just yap videos, I'm not really gonna care about those hooks as much. Even like something like this is not really my thing because I don't comment on current events. This would be something much more like what Jacqueline does. She's like giving a huge like a commentary on like political events or current events or pop culture. I would really just be interested in like a hook about like Christianity or something, a text hook about like someone talking about Christianity or something like that. So remember, niche, style, and format is very important as well, just so you can have an accurate data set that will actually apply. Step 3 is how we're gonna use these hooks and turn them into our own, because we're not gonna just be straight up like ripping them, we're not gonna be straight up stealing them. Just because I find it to be like a little bit disingenuous. Most of the time when you are like doing a very closely worded hook with someone, like you wanna credit them. Like you're gonna be like, shout out blank for the format, for the hook. When you are adapting these hooks, you're gonna basically turn it into Mad Libs. For example, like 2 from the sheet I just showed you. Let me be a prime example of why, and the other one was like bulimic F word, right? You shouldn't be blank. Maybe you can like note to your say F word or whatever. Like let me be an example of why you shouldn't be like a lukewarm Christian is a really good example, like example for me. Or let me be a prime example of why you shouldn't drop out of college, or something like that. And especially it's like good when you have a contrast, because like this would be a good example if I dropped out of college to do content creation and everyone knows that. So let me be a prime example why you shouldn't drop out of college. All right, I know I'm not the first one to say this, but controversial statement. I know I'm not the first one to say this, but I think men should stay in the kitchen. I don't know. right? Like something like that. It should just kind of be out there. Really, what we're trying to do with these hooks is emotionally provoke the viewer. This doesn't need to be in a bad way. I know we're saying like controversial statement as if it's like a bad term. You can present it as a black and white issue. For example, one of my friends like really blew up off of a video he made talking about like hookup culture. And he's like, when did we make hookup culture? Like, when did we like start devaluing sex so much? And it really he turned it into a black and white issue from the start, off rip. Basically get as much people like to pick a black or white side on the issue as possible. And then he would go into a much more gray area where he'd elaborate. Some people are like, okay, you're misleading them, blah, blah, blah. But I think every single like essay does this. Every single like piece of writing does this. Every like essays, like you can either be right or wrong, but you actually can't, like, it's much more complicated than that. And then you go into the complexities of the rest of your yap. So we're trying to emotionally provoke the viewer. And this can either be happy, sad, angry, right? You can make them happy. You can emotionally provoke someone to be happy. You can emotionally provoke someone to be sad, right? It doesn't just have to be anger. So let's look at some examples. Higher Up Wellness. So Higher Up Wellness, as you can also see, this is a good example of like, also, he just puts out a crap ton of content. He has 2 million followers. Look at like how low some of these view videos are. He has 200,000 followers. And even these videos, I'm not like paying attention to, right? I went to the 2 million view video, right? Because I know this hook is gonna pop, bruh. This hook is gonna be absolutely popping. So listen to like what he's saying here, and just like, well, shout out what you notice.
This be the one piece of advice that you take from this app tonight. You can do anything. You can do stuff way crazier than you could ever possibly imagine.
Okay, wait, I'm pretty sure you said something at the start.
If you're just doom scrolling right now, let this be the one piece of advice that you take from this app tonight.
Okay, so that's the hook, right? Then he goes into like his spiel. But what stands out to you guys?
And so things we notice, he starts off by saying, if you're doom scrolling right now, everyone on this app is doom scrolling. Like if I'm watching this video, I know exactly what position I'm in. I'm in my bed like this, and then like I'm like drooling on my pillow while looking at TikToks, right? So if I'm doom scrolling right now, super personal, super specific, even though it's a blanket statement, right? Doom scrolling also a keyword, right? How many times do we say doom scrolling? No one's gonna be like, yo, if you are going through your phone on TikTok right now, like doom scrolling is just a very recognizable like Gen Z or even like older Gen Z statement. So we want to use that keyword. Secondly, he says, let this be the one thing you take away from this app, right? So I don't know if you guys know like Alex Hermosi, or like, right? He has like the money models, he has like the offers thing. One of the things that you have to do, you can either create urgency. So I don't know if you've seen these hooks where it's like, yo, if you just give me 15 seconds, I'll explain how you can cure your gooning addiction, or something like that, right? Something crazy, right? You put a time on it, right? So that creates urgency. One of the things is also this one thing, this crucial thing, this one vital concept, right? It's so simple, it's only one thing that you need to take away from this app. So they're like, okay, I can listen to the one thing he has to say. He clearly knows something about me because I'm already doom scrolling. So we established that like he has some ethos, or he has some pathos. So off of that very first statement, if we're scrolling on TikTok, and then he's like, okay, now I just need to listen to you to listen to me for one thing. Right? That's how so many people listen. That's how he gets. Now, obviously, to get 300,000 likes, he also has to like have a good one thing to follow up with. Right? But that's how he gets so many people to stay past 3 seconds. Okay?
But can I interject something, Henry?
Yeah.
How many of you guys have seen this guy before? Okay, not a lot of you. How many of you guys feel like you would watch the rest of the video based off that hook? Yeah. I do think there's also this like he does a really good job of like projecting authority. Like, do you feel like he's someone you should listen to?
Dude, he has such a masculine mustache. Yeah, let's like also notice, okay, obviously like this is a good text hook as well. You always want to, most of your hooks are going to be talking about you, right? If you are doom scrolling right now, right? You can do more than you realize. So, talking to you, I also understand you probably wouldn't watch this video. Why? Because this looks like a very like red-pilled, like alpha male type of thing. We would watch this, like guys would watch this video who like want to like do something with their life. But like, not saying like you don't want to do something in your life, but like say like it's like that it's very targeted towards like young men, obviously. So we can go towards this girl instead, please.
For one video today, let it be this. The CEO of ChatGPT was asked, what is the one trait of the people that are the most successful? Guess what?
Okay, So we're gonna finish, like that's the hook. Guess what? That ends the hook. Okay, because then she goes into like what the actual video is about. Alright? So, and what are we noticing? She says like one thing. If you are ever feeling blah blah blah, right? If you ever feeling blank, and then I'm like, yo, I'm feeling blank right now. Just remember this one thing, right? Again. And then she says, guess what at the end? Right? We can like break down each thing. It's each word or like each phrase almost either relates to the viewer, engages the viewer, or like sparks curiosity, right? Guess what? And then she goes into her spiel. She, CEO of ChatGPT. She might not have that much authority. She looks like obviously higher up on this, hot mustachioed man. Like he has some sort of authority about him. She like does not have the same realm of authority that he would, but Sam Altman, CEO of ChatGPT, would. She doesn't even say Sam Altman. She's the CEO of ChatGPT. Why? Maybe she didn't do it on purpose, but why is that like attracting people? Because people know ChatGPT is ubiquitous. They see it as successful. The same thing would work if we said CEO of Google, CEO of Facebook, right? I would argue those are more effective than Mark Zuckerberg or Larry Page. Like no one really knows anything about Larry Page. Like that doesn't carry that much weight, right? CEO of ChatGPT. And then if we notice the text hook, obviously you at the end, God himself, right? The caps just like captures attention. Obviously religious imagery. I sound like an English teacher when I'm breaking down these hooks. I know that. And like, I honestly think so much of this is unintentional by them. But the reason why it works and the reason why we gotta break it down is because we have to like understand the subconscious of this, right? So many times it's like, yeah, it's unintentional by them. Why? It's because they are already naturally good at making hooks. Or maybe they're not naturally good, but they've trained themselves to subconsciously be able to make good hooks. And that's where we wanna get. Does that make sense? Okay. And then, finally, we can watch this video by me now.
If you've been laying in bed scrolling for the past hour and you feel like you just ruined the rest of your day so you have zero motivation, please just give me 60 seconds. I'm going to change your life.
So, yeah, literally everything I just said summed up into like one video, right? We saw both of them are like talking about scrolling, taking one thing. He adds the time urgency. He says, please just give me 60 seconds. I'm about to change your life. He even goes more specific than both of them, right? He talks about doom scrolling in bed and then also feeling you have no motivation for the rest of the day. Anyone else like you know, you wake up at like 10 a.m. and you sit in bed until like 11 a.m. and you like been on your phone? Is that just me? Is that just me? Guys, that's so okay. Well, anyway, look, that happened to me yesterday.
If you're sitting in this room and that's never happened to you once in your life, you're lying. You're lying.
Yeah. So, thank you, Mama. Thank you for back that. I appreciate that, She. All right. Anyway, point being, right? Like, maybe not all of us will listen to him, but he calls us out so specifically, and then adds a time limit to like, oh my, yo, okay, I only have to wait 60 seconds. I can listen for 60 seconds to whatever he's saying, right? So I'm gonna finish the rest of the video. And obviously the caveat to all these is like, you have to have a good thing to finish out your video, right? That's the other 20%. But the key is also to get them there, right? Okay.
Wait, I want to say another thing. I feel like with all of these videos, like if you watch it and you're like, wait, but this hook doesn't seem interesting to me, that's exactly why you need to be studying within your niche, because these hooks might not be meant for you. You might not be the target niche, yet they're still getting millions of views, right? So the niche itself is extremely important. So please study like what type of videos you're making, and you really gotta know like who you're making these videos for.
Yes, sir. Like there's a reason why I didn't put like one of Rajan's videos up here. Why? Even though me and Rajan like talk about content a lot, he's taught me a lot about content. He doesn't even make that many storytelling videos, right? He does a lot of like documenting videos, right? So for me, I'm not really, when I was doing my study, I wouldn't really be that interested in it, right? I would recommend like you study him, of course, and then I'm sure you know a lot of his videos, right? And like Rajan goes and does like a lot of videos with other people who are building and studies them, not like me now, right? Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about keywords, right? These are gonna be keywords you're gonna be using both in your text hook and in your hook, right? Like your verbal hook, okay? These are like my specific keywords, right? People like numbers, people, right? Like as a Christian, like Christian, lukewarm faith, right? As a content creator, you say like viral, obsessed, right? Motivation hack, burnout, like really specific keywords that are able to that hold a lot more complex meaning. right? Because like here's the thing, with these keywords, you're really simplifying a very complex topic or something that has like a lot of like semantic meaning into one word. And so for it can blanket statement yet be very specific. When I say lukewarm, you could write an entire like 10-page paragraph on like lukewarm Christian, or like let's do something more generally applicable, like gooning. Let's just talk about gooning. Obviously, like yeah, sexual connotation for gooning. That's like how it started out, right? But now it kind of can mean like wasting time, right? Is gooning like some people are like obviously like they're okay with gooning, like whatever, like they're like
Pick a different word. Pick a different word.
Bro, my point is like everyone has done it once in their life. They all have different varying views of how good or how bad it is. There's just such a spectrum of like emotions that is contained in this word. Same thing with burnout, right? Most people experience it in their life, and it contains a lot of information in a single word. This is what we're trying to do, really just like pick up the keywords. Everyone uses these types of keywords, and one of the things that is very valuable on social media for a hook is familiarity. Like, why do celebs blow up? Because everyone is familiar with them. Everyone sees their face all the time. Like, why do like celebrities' random Instagram videos come up? I'm not gonna copy Jake Paul when he's like yapping. People watch Jake Paul because they know he's Jake Paul. Right? So you need to create some sort of familiarity. And that either means your content is familiar already, or you're using familiar words and topics so that people are more willing to watch. Okay. When we're looking for keywords, we're gonna use these three, right? I don't know how many people are active on X, but X is really good for hooks. Okay, YouTube and TikTok also very good for hooks. Why are they good for hooks? Because their search engine is just like the best, way better than Instagram. Instagram's search engine sucks, right? So when we're using like when we're looking for keywords, sometimes like this is less important than actually looking for hooks on TikTok, but like when I want to like search up something for my coaching business that I'm like opening up, and I look on YouTube, there's gonna be like how I can scale you to 10,000 per month in just 90 days, right? And so like 10,000 per month, huge keyword. So I write that down because that can also be used for a TikTok hook, right? They all talk to each other, they all communicate, it's all sharing ideas. So this is like kind of to summarize, when we're creating hooks, and we want to copy, we want to study them. Once we're done studying them, when we're trying to create our own hooks, when we're adapting our own hooks, we're going to try to be as clear as possible, right? We're going to be trying to be as specific as possible in terms of the situation. We're going to use numbers, right? Also being specific. We're going to try to make sure that our hook is actually aligned with the rest of our video. And then this is something, is anyone aware of the purple cow effect? Does anyone know what it is? Okay, Milan, you want to explain what the purple cow effect is?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say like, basically the idea is like, imagine you're just driving down some random road and you pass a farm, right? And you see cows, like you're not gonna be that interested, right? But if you see a purple cow, like you bet that you're gonna be looking at that because it's like, what is that? I think a very famous clip is Mr. Beast is really well known for the purple cow effect because he just does this insane stuff. And when you're scrolling on YouTube, it's like, now it's kind of done to the ground. Like, I feel like a lot of us don't watch Mr. Beast anymore. But he always was doing these random things, right? And so basically the idea is you need to have something that just is so abnormal or so like untypical, and that can be like through your spoken hook, through your hook on the screen, just something that is out of the ordinary, something unusual, something that like gets heads to spin, or like in this case actually like pay attention.
Yeah. So that like I also spelled the fact wrong, but yeah, this is basically novelty. You need to be novel in your hook. And then visuals, less important. That's why it's like by the end. But like just focus on like maybe visual backgrounds, some visual hooks. What can you put in there? And then reread. All right. You want to always reread your hooks before like posting them. I like to do like 5 iterations of a hook, right? Which sounds kind of crazy, but it's just me saying the hook, and I'm like, do I actually talk like that? Probably not. Okay, so I'm gonna rewrite it. And then normally the end part, and every time I rewrite it, I go through these lists. What can I add? What am I missing? And then we're gonna like do it again. Okay, sick. Does anyone have any questions before we get into like a real life example kind of like thing?
I do have a question. Yeah, when you mentioned the purple cow effect, of course, when you have something more novel, it's like it will make a better video, higher viral potential. But like at the same time, if you're trying to, a huge principle when you're a content creator is consistency, right?
Yeah.
And like making a purple cow, is that really as replicable? Like, can you consistently make that? And like, if you can't, how would you go about?
Yeah, that's a good question. And honestly, so you're not gonna be able to apply every single thing on the checklist all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I think there's like very specific ways to how you can like phrase things as well that's novel. So like purple cow effect really doesn't mean like it has to be something that really has never ever been done before in mankind, but it really should be like, oh, I've never heard someone like put it that way. So for example, like I don't think any of these hooks really like are purple cow.
Yeah.
Right? They're just good fundamental hooks. They fulfill like all the other check marks on the base list. Purple cow normally is when you have like a semi-novel idea and you really can turn it into something cool.
Sure.
But for example, this one, right? This is like, I assume that he's definitely made more videos like this that are in this format. But like, this text hook is very interesting. I've never really seen an essay like this on TikTok. It is on like the purple cow in this case is like just a complex breakdown of like a pop culture topic, right? So that's like a kind of like a very weak example of a purple cow. Another like kind of like very weak example of a purple cow is like the video I made, this one, right? This, I would say not a lot of people have ever heard it. Like, I think, I'm definitely not the first one to say this ever, right? I think it's a very common trope, like self-dissatisfaction. But when I said this, not a lot of people have heard that said before. At least in like the people that were talking to me about this video. Right, so that's also a way, like you can just novelly phrase it. Think of just like, just think of like a different way to phrase it. And just like, I've never heard it put that way before, right? So that's just like another example of purple cow effect. Again, not everything needs to be applied. Like, none of these hooks, like this hook didn't have a number in it, right? It just was very specific. So you really should, like on this checklist, obviously you're not gonna be always able to apply everything. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense. It's like, in terms of importance, this is really what it is. Specificity and numbers are supposed to be together. It definitely needs to be clear and specific. And it definitely needs to be aligned with your ideas. These are the three most important. These are like, whatever.
Sure.
Right? Cool.
Just to add on a little, I think purple cow effect can also be, it's more important in certain niches. So if you're in like wellness and fitness, purple cow effect is used a lot. Like people will be saying, if you want a six pack, do not do ab exercises, right? That seems kind of counterintuitive, right? But that, I'm not super good at creating hooks yet, but like just off the top of my head, I feel like that'd be interesting to me. It's like, if I want abs, why would I not work on my abs, right? And then they're gonna explain why. And that might not even be true. Sometimes purple cow effect can get a little clickbaity, because they might be like, just kidding, you should, or something. But either way, that first initial 3 seconds gets you to stop and think, like, why?
Absolutely.
So it's more applicable in certain niches, but you should always be trying to if you think you can.
Yeah. Like I think my one video on Christian ABGs was a good purple cow. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but obviously like there's not gonna be a lot of Christians talking about how to raise up ABGs that is like openly professing Christian. And obviously the rest of the video was that's called an idea alignment, by the way, guys, because the ideas aligned at the end that made it work. That's the point. It can get a little clickbaity, 100%. Okay, let's try to create a hook together as a group. You know, we're gonna use the power of teamwork to create a viral hook, and then I don't know, like all of us can steal it. But does anyone have like a video that they've been wanting to make? Like any topics they've been wanting to make?
Okay, so it's a long story, but long story short, do y'all know iShow Speed?
Yeah.
Y'all know iShow Speed. Okay. So he went on this America tour, 35 states, 35 days. And what I did like for content was like I started in DC, and then I went to a couple of the states that he went to. So I went to Vegas, I went to Albuquerque, I went to Phoenix, I went to LA, and obviously I met him in DC. So I have like a bunch of these clips where I'm like interacting with him, and I wanted to kind of bring it together to like a YouTube video or maybe an Instagram video, but I don't know how to exactly package it, you know what I mean? So some type of hook for that.
That's good. Yeah, okay. So how many states, so like let's just think about this. Okay, so how many states did you go to?
I met him in like in 5 states.
Okay, 5 states.
Yeah.
Well, did you go to more states?
I went from DC to LA, so I traveled all of those states, you know.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, the reason I asked is because if you met him at 5 states, but let's say you went to 10 states, like you would use 10. I feel like you could be like, I went to 10 states to, and then you're lucky because I Show Speed is like people are just
Yeah, so that's gonna be
listen to
like
that
a
anyway.
good familiarity. So obviously, drop like speed in the hook,
For sure.
right? For example, you went DC to LA, right? So you can say like I went across the country. I want to say DC to LA.
Yeah.
Right. I would say across the country. Right. So I think you could like off rip. I want to say this is the best hook, but you can just say I just traveled across the country to meet I Show Speed, and then like obviously have like the B-roll of you meeting him and like clipping, all for a clip with I Show Speed, right? So you see like so second iteration, right?
Yeah.
Let's make a number so we can like kind of show the iterations. All right.
Mhm.
I just traveled across the country to get a clip with I Show Speed. Now, like, do you think like I'm not super into the thing, but like you could like into like streamers and speed.
Yeah.
But like for example, we can change this to be like, I don't know, is speed better or I Show Speed? Like
I Show Speed. I Show Speed.
I Show Speed, that's more recognizable. Okay.
Show Speed? Oh.
Like, traveled across the country. What if we try to add numbers in here? How, I don't know, what's DC to LA? Like, I just traveled, what is it, 50,000 miles? I don't know. 3,000 miles?
Yeah, 3,000 miles.
Bro, it's bugging.
I don't know how distances work. Right, so I just traveled 3,000 miles to get one clip. And technically you did not just get one clip, but
Yeah.
like, you show it one clip and you show other clips, right? I just traveled 3,000 miles to just get one clip with I Show Speed, all right?
Yeah.
So, you see, like, I think we can do even more than this. Let's go back to like, the things, specificity, numbers, clarity. So if we wanted to do like a talking to the viewer type of thing, this is like a storytelling thing where most storytelling things you can talk about yourself. It's okay to be I. Not every hook needs to involve a you.
Yeah.
But like, let's see, maybe we want to say like, have you ever done something so crazy or something like blah blah blah? Well, I or like something like this, like, well, I have you beat, and then like the hook, and then go into the hook,
Mhm.
right? This is kind of like GPT. Like, even when I'm like writing that, I'm like, dang, this is GPT. So I said, I bet I could top your craziest celebrity story or something, right? Like something like that, like story or like, so like, have you ever is good. Like I wouldn't like say something as generic as this. We're like, have you ever done XYZ? Well, I bet I got you beat, something like that.
For sure.
And so now you have your story crafted, and then you can say, I would definitely follow that up with like 2 weeks ago and then go into your story.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense?
Do you
Okay.
think sorry, just to
Yeah.
one more thing. Like, do you think like I could package this as like a full like YouTube video and maybe do like 5-10 minutes or something as that, or go about the way of like posting the clips, or maybe doing an Instagram kind of storytelling thing? Like I don't know. what
Do
you
do
think.
all of it, bro.
All of it.
I would
Just
say
milk it. Just
post each individual clip with a text hook.
Yeah.
100%. Post this Instagram storytelling story.
Mhm.
You can even post that Instagram storytelling story and like finish off full videos on my YouTube,
Yeah.
right? You can make it, and I would do those. I'd post all the clips with text hooks, for sure. That's so easy.
For sure. Yeah.
Maybe you make a YouTube video, you also clip all the YouTube video and post all that. In addition to all of that, you also make the storytelling video on Instagram,
Yeah.
right? That's like, because obviously you put a lot of effort into this. You want to milk this for as much content as, I bet you can make like 20 pieces of content.
Yeah.
Unique pieces of content, like that is different. And then also spam trial reels with like different, they try different formattings
Okay.
and XYZ. You can definitely put out like 20 original pieces of content with like what you have,
Mhm.
right? Okay, bet. Does anyone else have a hook they'd like to try out?
make a W speed.
W speed.
W speed.
I got you.
You can always say like I chased I Show Speed. Because
Yeah.
they're, like because it's like his name is like Speed and it's like
Mhm.
being fast and you could like talk about being chased or something.
There's
Yeah,
honestly a
okay.
lot of good hooks. You could combine these. You could be like, I bet you've never traveled 3,000 miles just to meet a streamer. Or something
That's
like that.
good. Yeah. So I would say or like
Or
some
I Show
streamer,
Speed.
yeah. I chase ISO speed across the country. Blah blah blah. Or like, I bet you've never. What did you say?
I bet you've never traveled 3,000 miles just to meet a streamer
Yeah.
or something like that. Or I show speed. You could probably do it. The good thing is I show speed is such a buzzword that like people will watch. But if you have like a really good hook with I show speed in it, like then it's just gonna take off.
Yeah, yeah.
Just to get a clip with the streamer or something like that. Like, and then you can show. Another amazing thing is you can show don't tell. Right? Again, we have to remember, like, this is why captions are so important. Most people on Instagram are not actually listening with sound on. So sometimes, like, you can say a streamer and just show the clip with speed. They'll recognize speed.
Yeah.
Like, that's the good thing. Okay? Is it okay if I use one of the hooks I gave feedback on?
For me.
Like, yeah, I remember I gave feedback on, like, a hook that
Yeah,
Milan sent in the chat a while ago. This is the original hook. This is Milan's words. I'm sick of people saying CS majors don't take showers because business majors are 10 times more sweaty and stinky, right? So I think this is honestly like a good hook where we can take this concept and take a lot of the popular hooks from TikTok and like Mad Lib, right? So if we wanted to do that, we can do that. But let's try to like break this down ourselves and like try to make it better ourselves. Then definitely like I think if we like went and copied some hooks, this could also do well. So I'm sick of people saying CS majors don't take showers because business majors are 10 times more sweaty and stinky. Like, what are some ways that we can improve this hook? Yes.
I guess like if you're one of the people that say CS majors stink, like stop fucking lying because business majors are more.
I think a better way to say this, we want to make sure we are clear, concise, right? So I'm effing sick of you MFs saying that CS majors, or honestly, business MFs, right? We want to move business up. Business MFs saying that CS majors don't take showers because y'all are 10 times more sweat stinky, right? Now, I'm not gonna be real with you, Milan. When you made this video, I just didn't understand. So this video did like have good like alignment. I'm gonna be real, okay?
I don't think it did either.
Yeah, because.
But it only did good because of the hook.
Yeah, the video was about how business majors are more like sweaty, like in the metaphorical sense of like you're like yo, like you're going big for Morgan Stanley, like yo, like how many offers you got, IB internships, consulting, M&A, yeah. Anyway, so for example, like I remember I made one video about like calm. No one understands calm school students except UVA. So like we had to use business MFs. But like because y'all are 10 times more stinky, right? So obviously like this causes intrigue. Let's just ignore the fact that the alignment was like meh on this video, and like let's just focus on the hook. What else can we do? I still think that this can be kind of improved.
You can switch. You can change "don't take showers" to just "shower" because like it's just shorter.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. I'm sick of you business. Don't say that CS majors don't shower, or you could say like don't shower because y'all are 10 times more stinky. I would say like we can even move this like number up. 10 is good. I'd say like 100 could work as well. X more stinky. Or we could go like sweaty because that is like aligned with the video. If we go back to our like Mad Libs thing, right? I know I'm not the first one to say this, right? But blank. I don't know if this perfectly works. I know I'm not the first one to say this, but business majors need to take showers more than CS majors. Like y'all need to take showers more. I'm sorry, like CS because y'all need the showers more than us, right? Something like that. Like we don't even need to have the number. Like y'all need the showers more than us. Why do we need why do the business major like
I got so much shit for that. Like, are you not a business major?
We need because y'all need it more. Still, I feel like this idea like actually I think this hook format had like limited potential with the idea, but like now we can see like as a business major I'd be like pissed off. I'd be like, who the F is this guy? Right? Like who is this prick who thinks like he is going to get a job with like his CS degree, blah blah blah, right? And you can say like as a CS major, like you're not a CS major, but we CS majors, so they can they can hate you more, right? And that's how we can make a better iteration.
I think another good thing this shows is like, like honestly, like especially for personal brand, try to invest more time in your like writing process. So this hook was already like, this was already me and Henry working through it a little, and then we spent like 10 minutes like improving it. So it was even worse before this, and then we already fixed it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'm reading up now. Yeah.
Yeah. So that hook was already after we like improved it a little, and so imagine if I had taken the 10 more minutes on top of the 10 more minutes to make it even better. Maybe this like 30,000 view video would have been like 50 or maybe 100K, right? So honestly, like one thing I've been doing is like a lot of my videos, like I think could perform a lot better if I just spent a little more time on the hooks. And you get a lot of you get a lot more improvement from just like 20% more effort, right? So like you don't have to spend a bunch of time making your whole video perfect, right? If you just add like 5 more minutes to improving your hook, that can have like huge impacts.
Pareto principle. Your hook, even though it's only the first 2 seconds of your video, has 80% impact. Does everyone kind of have a good concept of how we are like applying this checklist, right? Okay, so this in combination with studying, like just having the pattern recognition, because obviously we're just like pulling things from our brain right now, right? We're not like mad-libbing from like another hook, right? So to build up that like word bank of like viral words, of viral topics, right, of buzzwords, of keywords, like even I don't have the best like keyword bank in my brain, right? But to build that up, that's why we have to do the study, right? That's why we have to like write down which hooks, and sometimes we can just straight up rip them if we don't want to like put that much effort into making your hooks that day. Okay? Does anyone have any questions on that whole process? Good? Sick. Okay. Technically, this is the end of club. Like, if you have to go, you can go now.